Injury updates on the.
No, I mean everybody trained today. We still kept Dempsey and Oba as neutrals, so now we see how they feel tomorrow, and we keep pushing forward. So.
And Ozzy and Chad are looking.
Ozzy and Chad, yeah, we had in not as neutrals, and so Chad is just a matter of a protocol with his heading right now to pass through that. Then he should be all right, and Ozzy's full in training this week.
What do you see at Victor Masser in the game against Dallas? Seems like he had a pretty good.
I thought he came in and he did well. You know, we needed a little bit of spark at that time, and needed somebody who was going to maybe drop off the front line a little bit, find that space, which he did. You know, he laid a good ball across to Andy Rose. Andy made a good run to the near post. Unfortunately, he got pushed at the same time as he shot the ball, so the ball actually hit his foot, then hit his hand. If it doesn't hit his hand, it goes into the goal. You know, I thought Victor did all right.
Seems like both teams had so much going on. It seemed like they could both almost look at it as a point gained or 2 points lost. Did you have any feelings on?
Yeah, I mean, you can look at different things. You know, like I said after the game, you know, playing a man down doesn't really change their game because they look to draw fouls. I mean, sometimes it's ridiculous the way guys go down. I mean, you know, in one case, you know, the player's smiling as he's laying on the ground knowing that he drew a foul. But, you know, so they play for those free kicks. They still have Castillo up front with his speed. We needed to do a better job of spreading the field with the ball, and I think we did a better job of that in the second half, and that's where we created more opportunities. And you know, we ended up at the end of the day, we had 4 really good looks. I mean, there was Barrett's breakaway, there was Barrett's header, there was the one that Zira scooped over the back line for him, and there was Andy Rose's run to the near post off Victor. And so you got to score one of those, and then the game, you know, falls in your favor. But I was happy that we got a shutout. You know, I mean, again, we were missing players. Everybody misses guys. You know, that's not unusual. But, you know, when you miss guys down the middle of the field, you know, I think, you know, when you look at our misses, 4 of them come right down the in the middle of the field. It's easier to replace outside guys than inside guys. But I thought the team battled and did well. It's a difficult field to play. I thought there was an interesting comment by Tyrone Mears, who said he'd rather play on AstroTurf than play on that field. He thought that field was harder than the turf field because their field, it doesn't look like it on TV, but their field is rock hard. And, you know, so that impacts it as well.
What did you make of your centerfolds in this match?
I thought they did all right. I thought Evans, you know, was a big test for Brad to come back. I thought he played well. You know, he was good. I thought Zach was concentrated and did well. You know, I thought Tyrone played well, managed his game pretty well. Leo, I think, managed his game a little bit. You know, he's a guy that, you know, we want to try and get forward a little bit more at times. But I thought the center backs did well.
Chad looked like he came up a little. I guess he came out pretty shortly after he went down. Did he cramp up, or was
it was just a cramp? Yeah, it was just a cramp. There's no muscle injury or anything like that.
What did you think about Roldan's starting, and what was the reason behind taking him out for Kovar?
Yeah, I mean, I thought Roldan did okay. He was a little too conservative maybe for my liking, but he's a kid who, you know, he doesn't want to make a mistake, or he wants to make sure that he does well defensively, I think, for the team as well as his attacking play. It was a lot for him considering he played 90 minutes against Tijuana. So for him to come back, you know, we were asking a lot, and I thought Kovar coming in brought us some good energy, you know. But I was happy with Christian.
Stefan Fry, how he's reading the game, his distribution once he gets the ball to the sides.
Yeah, we want him to find our defenders. We want to be able to build out of the back when we can. You know, that's something we talk about all the time. We try and work on as well in training. And, you know, that's something that we look for him to do to get us started. We don't want him, you know, normally when we have Oba and Clint up front, we're not a team that's going to win flick-on headers up there. So we want to be a team that tries to build and, you know, find other options.
I know you talked about this, but character of the team, missing 5 players, and just coming away with, you know, some points on the road and how important that is.
Character of the team was good. You know, we got a point on the road, you know, so that was important. What we got to do is we got to take care of business at home. So we got to now come into our game against Houston and take care of business on our home field. And if we do that, you know, we'll all be very happy.
Darwin Jones hat trick for S2. Does that something you like to see? I would assume you like to see it, but what does it do for you know, rotating guys between them when they have a big performance like that?
No, we're happy with obviously S2's victory and the way they've played the first 2 games. I think it's been good, and it's good for the young players that we have as they continue to grow and develop. And I think Darwin, obviously 3 goals. Anytime you do that, it's a great game. And so you just got to continue to build on that. That should give you some confidence, and you continue to build on that and grow with it.
How much more of a competition level does that create than like a reserve league game when you see your players having a big game at S2 as opposed to reserve?
It's much better for the players for their development, because you're not only dealing with the physical aspect of the game, you're dealing with the psychological aspect of the game. You're playing for points, you're playing for the top of the league, you're playing to get into the playoffs, you're playing in front of fans. There's an atmosphere there, and so as a result of that, you can see how guys are going to do when they step into the next level.
Kenny Cooper has to be taken in consideration. What are your thoughts on his situation or his status with the team right now?
Garth really knows that situation, so it's a thing of the new CBA and salary cap and all those things. But there's obviously decisions that we've had to make, but Garth Lagerwey is the best one to address that.
Did any of the guys that you kind of had to fill in, there were fill-ins this week, sort of elevate their case to where they're more in the running as a matter of choice?
I think the success of what they did in Dallas and having a clean sheet and coming away with a point, and the success of the S2 team as well. We got Andres Correa playing there left back also, and Damian Lowe having a good game at center back. That all puts pressure that people have to perform, and if not, there's other people we can turn to. I think competition is always good. We've got players who are driven by that, and so I think it's a good thing for our team.
Andres Correa has played left mid in Colombia before, and it seemed like you kind of put him in that position against Tijuana. Is that something that you were kind of experimenting with? Yeah,
we've looked at him at left mid. I played him part of the game there, part of the game at left back. And there'll be times where maybe Ezra will use him in left mid, sometimes when he drops down to S2 as well. So we feel that, he can play a little bit of both.
Thank you.
I guess I don't know if they've asked you this already, but sorry for joining in late here. But
no problem.
what was the level of play this weekend in MLS with all the players being gone and the friendlies going on? I know the league had to play it, but it just seemed like without the star power of the league, some of the games were kind of missing some of the action.
Well, I think you look at some games, and there were some good games, and there were some games that weren't as good and weren't as exciting. And, obviously, when you look at our game with Dallas, and there was technically no shots on goal, and no saves. But when you look at it, you're saying we had 4 really good chances in the second half. So is that, is it better to have a shot on goal from 30 yards that is a 4-bouncer for the goalkeeper to scoop up, and then you statistically say, oh, they had 3 shots on goal, So it's about creating chances, and so you got to create chances. So there's the other games, Toronto, Salt Lake game was a really interesting game, and had a lot of firepower at the end of the game, and it gave out an opportunity for Salt Lake's young player Jordan Allen to come in and show that, hey, wait a second, I'm here too. So I think the opportunities, present themselves for some of the younger players. Am I going to say that the quality doesn't suffer a little bit? Yeah, for sure the quality suffers a little bit when you got so many guys gone, on international duty. But it also shows our league growing in its caliber and stature, that we have more players playing in our league that are members of their respective national teams.